governor has called a state of emergency.
Hundreds and hundreds of bodies lining the streets.
Panic spread worldwide after a leaked report from the World Health Organization showed that the latest vaccination tests have failed.
With the bureaucrats out of power, we can finally take the necessary steps.
Los Angeles is now the latest city to be placed under martial law. All residents are required to report to their designated quarantine. Riots have continued for a third consecutive day, and winter rations are at an all-time low.
What would you do if the world collapsed? Where would you go, and what would you grab? That is what I'm going to be covering in today's video. I'm going to be showing you how to make a bug out bag, how to pack it, what you need, what you don't need, what you might need to consider when making one. And a bug out bag is just a survival bag that includes medical supplies, stuff to start a fire, water purification, food, and maybe some small commodities that you might need. As goes for safety, you want to make sure that you're being mindful of things with an edge, axes or knives or whatever you may have, a multi-tool with some sharp blades. You want to make sure that you're being mindful that you don't cut yourself, and also maybe looking up a video on how to chop wood if you are thinking of getting an axe for firewood. Another thing, talking about fire, is to make sure that you're being mindful of not burning yourself or lighting the whole forest on fire. Watch a few fire safety videos on how to make a campfire and stuff like that. And concerning first aid as well, maybe get a first aid handbook. I have one. It came with my kit, and it's helpful for administering aid and making sure that you're not using any of the products incorrectly. So yes, and for skills as well, map and compass, I would recommend watching videos on that. It's kind of hard to read a map. Everything is condensed, and to measure distance with a compass, that takes skill as well. And also using a stove if you're getting a jet boil stove. Make sure you know how to use that and change out the fuel for it. There's a lot of things that you need to research and more than likely become proficient in, but just as the bare minimum, just watch the safety videos and read the instructions on everything you buy, just to make sure you're following them. All right, this is my bug out bag. Right here I got the most important, which is the food. These are my rations. So once I run out of the MRE meals or those camping meals, this is what I will turn to. Life straw, this is my backup water purification. I have a filtered purification system coming in from Amazon I haven't gotten yet. So these are my tools here. This is all the medical supplies, bandages, antiseptic, gloves, some braces, and burn gel, all that stuff. Up here we got the first aid emergency handbook, which I really recommend. Poncho for rain, emergency blanket for warmth, emergency tent. I got my Baofeng radio here to hear any alerts that you might need. You might also want to get one of these, which is a wind-up radio just in case, but the only thing is you can only hear. With this one you can actually speak to other people, so I recommend the Baofeng. Here's my bag. It's a modular bag. Take off stuff, put it back on. Over here I have my charger for my phone. It's a solar panel, flashlight, extra batteries, maps. My grandparents live in New Mexico, and that is my backup plan. That is where I'll go. So I have these two maps, compass to navigate, highlighter to mark on the map. This is my scout bag, and in here I would have, just commodities and stuff, hand warmers, lotions and stuff, eye drops, just anything that you might think you need. You might include medications and stuff that you might need to take, like insulin or any of that stuff. But how I would organize this is heaviest to the bottom and things you need to the top. So all right, after that showcase, you might be wondering, holy crap, all of that looks super expensive. Well, most of it can be actually substituted for stuff that you can find in stores. And that goes for the first aid stuff, especially. So, you know, for the first aid, you can go to places like CVS, and they have all of that medical supplies really cheap. For my kit, I paid, I think it was $60. It was $60, I do remember. I got it from Amazon, but it does come with a lot of things. That emergency poncho that you saw, and some of those tools, it came with a multi-tool, and a lot of, you know, survival stuff, it came with it. So I do say that it's really good for the value. So if you are looking for just something that you can buy, just one for all, and take it, I will be putting that up right here. You can buy it, but that goes for everything else. Just look, search it up, you know, do some research. That is the best thing that I could recommend, is doing your own research, looking for things that will work for you. This bag is for you. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. So tailor it to you. Tailor it to yourself. What do you think you need? You know, it's depending on where you're going. So, you know, are you going to be out in the woods? You know, account for that, and account for your family as well if you want to prepare for them. You know, but yeah, that's it. Thank you.